Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is Stealth Bastard Deluxe. It's by Curve Studios, and before you even say a thing, you've done this game before. Well, kind of and kind of not. I did the previous game. Stealth Bastard was released a while ago as a free game, and it is pretty good for what it is, if you like the idea of sneaking around in 2 dimensions and solving puzzles and getting overly frustrated at everything. And boy, do I love that, right? No, actually, I hate that, but that's not really the point, is it? The game itself was fun for those who were really into it, and it was well designed, and it was quite nicely presented. It had a slick aesthetic, great music. Well, along comes Stealth Bastard Deluxe, with a level editor, a bunch of community levels, 80 brand new levels, bosses, new game modes, 5 pieces of different equipment, as well as a story and a bunch of polish and stuff like that. So the question, I suppose, is it actually worth paying for this time around? Well, let's play a little bit of Stealth Bastard. We could go with Bastard or Bastard. Which do you prefer? I remember I used to have a teacher. He went by the name of Mr. Rome. And he used to talk like this. You're gonna get your maths homework in at the right time. And then he'd say bastard every now and again. Or you could say bastard, whichever you prefer. I don't mind. We'll go with bastard for the moment. I don't know. It seems a little bit more insulting, I feel, because you've put a little bit more eloquence behind it. You're putting effort into the insult. Bastard is kind of a throwaway insult. Bastard, that sounds like you've actually committed to it. Alright, let's give it a bash, shall we? So, what do we have here? Well, did a few levels, as you might imagine, just to make sure that everything is working as intended. So I did the first 4 tutorial levels. I actually kind of know how to play it anyway, because it's pretty much the same as the previous one. Now, I can actually skip these chambers. I wonder if I can go all the way to the end and then unlock some of the equipment for you guys. Let's do 1 level, and then I'll try and get to the end to show you the equipment. Apparently that doesn't unlock until the end. So as you can see here, this is no equipment. So this is your traditional Stealth Bastard experience, where you sneak around the place. Then you got Camo Suit, Decoy, Sonic Decoy, Anti-Light, and Teleporters. Doesn't tell you what any of these things do whatsoever, so basically if you beat the boss at the end of the sector, you unlock the ability to use these. So let's go through a level first, and then we'll use our skip ability to go all the way to the boss and see how that actually fares. Well, what do we have here? Alright, well, if you watched the, and it was the free, if I recall correctly, if you watched the WT free of Stealth Bastard, then you pretty much know what it's about. This is your guy. Depending on the color of his goggles, well, that depends as to whether or not you are partially visible, fully visible, and so on and so forth. As you can see right here. So if I'm in this shadow, I'm not visible, so my goggles are green. If I'm here, I'm still not visible, I'm partially visible there, and I'm fully visible if I'm tearing around here. So that's fairly important, since you pretty much die in 1 hit most of the time. Alright, so let's figure this level out, shall we? So it would make sense if we were to go in this direction, because you can see there's a little cranny in the wall over there. Or a nook, whichever you prefer. Up there, grab on there, jump up there, and then activate whatever that is. Interestingly enough, you can see these other characters kind of running around the place. They don't really affect anything. Alright, what do we have here? Well, there's a camera directly above there. Oh! Yeah. So, that's something to bear in mind. There is a fairly high chance that you will be killed by lasers, because the game kind of loves to do that to you. There's a little bit more. There we go. You just gotta be careful. So, let's watch this guy. Off he goes. He's actually going to demonstrate how this works. As you can see, not exactly ideal. I can run through here, then just jumping over there would make perfect sense, because, you know, why would you stand on it? Speaking of why would you stand on it, let's not stand on that either. There we go. Not a huge amount of stealth going on at the moment, as you can probably figure out. But that's not all that important at the moment anyway. You don't see a lot of stuff patrolling around the place. Alright, chances are I need to get that open enough to crawl underneath. And then I could push that over and hopefully get to the exit. How someone did this in 34 seconds, I don't even know. Some people are just way too good at games like this. I personally, not so much. Alright. I'm going to have to go all the way around there again, so I can actually push it. It's nice to have these worldwide leaderboards that are available in-game. They give you a nice little bit of information as to what's going on. Now, can I jump on there? Yes, I can. And there we go, through the exit. Done. Test has been completed. 1 of 80 levels in the game. And many, many more community-created things. Alright, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the skip level functionality here to hopefully get through to the end. As you can see, I can... Yep, I'm going to skip that level, I'm going to skip that level, and then I'm going to skip this level, and then we're going to try the boss. I have no idea what doing the boss involves, but I guess we're about to find out, considering that I don't believe the previous game had bosses in it. Sentinels can see everything. Alright, so that is the boss. So I guess if I turn around here and get spotted, it's probably going to murder me instantly. It claims it can see everything, but I'm so boned, aren't I? Oh, it's alright, it can't see me now. Well, opening that's going to be tricky. Oh, oof, Christ. Alright. Yeah, there's... Bloody hell, they're not messing around on this one, are they? Well, it says stick to the shadows. I would love to, but... It seems like the only way to really pull that off... I wonder if you can actually kind of get in there between the pulse and not get murdered. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. We're good, we're good, good. We're good. You just gotta be quick. Whoop! Down at the shadows. Yep, you can't see me. I'm not here. It's just this very friendly-looking box that's going to hide me. Unfortunately, I can't actually put that in a good place right now. I don't believe you can pull. I think you can only push in this game, so... Pushing it all the way along there doesn't make any difference because I can't jump over there, so it's a quick dash down to there. Alright, well, there's another switch down there. Probably best to go for it. As you can see, there's... Oh, I can see it. Right, I get it. Okay. Well, can't get through there, so let's be careful. So it seems like the way to do it would be to wait for this block to come along, get under the lasers, jump up, grab onto the little nooks over there. Preferably don't get murdered by the lasers. There we go. Up, up, up. Push that across. Not really sure what the purpose of pushing it across is, but we'll figure it out. There we go. I don't want to push it down. Well, I guess there's no real choice. There's no other useful way of using it. So, we'll give it a shove. So, as I said, you know, it's kind of a stealth game, but it's mostly a puzzle game, give or take. Someone did this in 45 seconds. Unbelievable. Okay. Well, it is currently down there. Oh, but... Oh! Thankfully, there seem to be checkpoints as well. If you had to start the whole level over again every time you got zapped, that would be fairly horrendous. Put you there. Can't get on top of that, so there's no point in it being there. Oh, that actually casts a shadow as well. Interesting. Now, I don't recall the ability to push stuff around to cast shadows a great deal in the previous version of the game, although it very well might have been there. Can you actually crawl through that? I've just got this odd feeling that it's actually possible to crawl through that little edge over there that you can see just down by the switch, that it might be a crawl space and not actually a platform. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell. Can I? No, it's just grab it. You can't actually crawl through it. Alright. Oh, no, I'm in the shadows, damn it. Go away. I had cast the shadow, but that was not so good. Running across there is probably going to kill me. Man, I really want to show you the equipment, so I'm going to have to sit here until I figure this bloody thing out. Someone's probably managed it already. I mean, there isn't really a lot to otherwise say about the game without kind of repeating myself based on what I said in my original. If you want to watch that video, then I'll put a link in the description below this. And then you can try and figure out what's going on with it. But it's got the same kind of presentation. It's a little bit nicer looking, but they've maintained the pretty neat pixel art style that was going on with it. Surely that's not shadow. That's not shadow, right? No. Ooh, there's a little bit too much light there. I don't like it. Partially visible is probably a little bit too much. I don't see a way of making a dash across that. I could maybe just make a leap for it. No, it's just gonna kill you pretty much instantly. I wonder then if it is a case of pushing that along to jump back up, but then again, what would be the point? Because I could have done that in the first place. So that's of no benefit to anybody. The aim being to get across to that other switch. The aim being to create enough shadows to get across to that other switch. Actually, funnily enough, reminds me of reverse closure. No, I'm not here. Go away. Huh. I have a feeling, once again, that I'm overthinking this. How on earth... Well, there's that other switch there as well. So I would think that notice the yellow and black striped piece of metal down the bottom. I would think that that opens when you push the other switch. That's my theory. The question is, how on earth do you get there in the first place? But the thing is, there's light coming from there. That's got to be a crawl space. Surely. Oh, it is a crawl space. I see. I'm an idiot. Never mind. You've got to access it in a very specific way. You can't climb up into a crawl space, which is actually a little bit unintuitive, I have to say. You've got to drop... I'm not here. Go away. You've got to drop down on top of something and... and do it quick enough and not fuck it up, more to the point. Alright. Come on. Shove you all the way over there. Stay in the shadows, into the crawl space. Yeah, that's it. That's how it's done. Alright, so that's one. Oh, God. Yep, get out of the way. Alright, lasers are on. That sets up this. So that would allow me to jump up there. And then if I were to time the jump correctly on the way there. Okay, and there we go. Up we go. Activate this to shade this. Oh, it moves. Oh, great. Okay. This is going to be a timed jump. Because I just love time jumping puzzles. That and I've been locked in the room, so that's actually utterly unhelpful. Oh, can I then... I could probably just stop it, can't I? Yeah. Pfft. Once again, completely overthinking it. I am not here. This is not a set of glowing green goggles. Regardless of how ridiculously impractical an idea that is. Alright, now I've got to get down there without dying. So, I would suggest the idea is probably just to jump over there. This is... That's probably enough shadow, right? Yeah, I would think so. Down to there, wait for it to get out of the way. And there we go. Excellent, excellent. I probably got like an F ranking. C. That's okay, right? C's probably the bottom ranking and they just don't want to tell me. Alright, so now I have access to equipment for the sector. And then you go on to the next sector, which one assumes probably... As you can see, this one has actually got enemies that you need to deal with and avoid. I would imagine that the next sector does not allow you to use equipment until you then unlock it, and then you can replay the levels in different ways. Am I correct in that assumption? Let's find out. I am completely correct in that assumption. So the point of the equipment is not so much to give it to you while you're trying to accomplish the levels, it's to give it to you to replay the levels that you already did. Interestingly enough, I can't actually use it there. Oh, so that's unlocked the camo suit. Alright. So I guess that's in only the levels that I've done. Alright. So as you can see right there, you hold down the C button to charge it up and use it, and it will make you invisible for a brief period of time. So let's try that out and see how it actually works. So I'd imagine this is how you get higher score. There you go. Well, that didn't work out so well. I thought... I guess I thought I'd used it, actually, but I guess not. Although I'm pretty sure this level actually relies on lockdown. I don't believe there's any other way of doing it. It's sad. I did this level maybe 3 hours ago, and I can't even remember how I did it in the first place. Oh, yeah. It's that easy. There we go. Oh, you just hold C to use it. Alright. There you go. So that's what the camo suit does. So it's really a nice and easy idea. I mean... Oh, it looks like you get a holographic decoy after that as well. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, so... I think it should be blindingly obvious, really, what the game's all about. It's about sneaking, it's about puzzle solving, and it is in 2D, and it's got a great aesthetic and a really cool soundtrack. Now, as usual... Since some people aren't going to be able to hear the soundtrack, I'm just going to shut up for the next minute and actually allow you guys to listen to it, because it's pretty cool. There you go. There's the soundtrack. It's pretty cool. There's actually a soundtrack edition available on Steam as well. I'm just wondering if I've completely screwed myself over here, because I thought I'd figured this one out nice and easy, you know, knock that one down there, then jump on top of it to get the other one, and that seems all fine, but I don't think there's now a way for me to actually push this backwards, unless that could go down there, and we could do something with it. I don't think we can, actually. Oh, does that open? Maybe it does. Yeah, that's it. I thought so. Pretty sure there had to be a way of actually recycling it. There you go, then just use that to cast the shadow, head into the shadow, and then activate that, then leave. So there you go. I think you got the gist of Stealth Bastard up to this point. It's, in my opinion, a pretty delightfully presented game, and it's got some interesting puzzles. The combination of the puzzle and stealth aspects are effective, I would say. They work pretty damn well. They work as advertised. The game does a really good job of making it crystal clear as to whether or not you are actually hidden. The changing of the colors, and of course the big prompt on the screen that says whether you're partially hidden, fully hidden, or whatever. That's really, really good. So the game does a great job of giving you the feedback that you need in order to be an effective stealth bastard. And I would say that the levels this time around are much better designed. I mean, I'm impressed more by the level design of these than I was by the ones in the initial game. I'm sure the ones later on in the game were really, really good. But early on, like, Stealth Bastard Deluxe kind of throws a lot of really interesting and clever things at you and mixes it in with a fairly wry sense of humor presented in the form of these... What's the best way to describe it? I guess the best way to describe it would be... Oh, can I push that? Yeah, I bet I can. The best way to describe it, I suppose, would be... It's like Splinter Cell Convictions light text that's projected on the walls for tutorials. That's pretty much what it's like. And it does a fairly stellar job of being entertaining in an almost Portal-esque kind of way. The game has character, too. I mean, the graphic style is nice and unique. It's really good pixel art. It's like Revenge of the Titans pixel art. It's like Home and Lone Survivor pixel art. And that stuff looks really, really good. I like being given a little piece of feedback when I've done something clever. It rewards me for that. And, you know, like a small toddler, I require the reassurance and affirmation. There we go. Have a little bit of hacking going on there. The game is creative, the game has a level editor as well, and seems to have a pretty active playing community as well, so that means if you like the gameplay of this, there's going to be a lot more of it, which makes it a pretty good value package as far as I'm concerned. Price-wise, you're looking at $10, although it is currently 25% off in the Steam sale. Also, your regional equivalent of that, so I believe it's about £6.99. So I would suggest, actually, that you do have a look at it, and if you have your doubts, then there is, of course, still the free version as well, and the free version is still very, very good indeed. I'd just say that Deluxe is better. I suppose the question is it good enough to justify the price tag? And it's hard for me to really quibble over the subject of $10. That's not actually a lot of money at all. And the gameplay is enjoyable enough, but I would treat the original Stealth Bastard... No, yeah, that would be helpful, actually. Thank you. The offer is wonderful. I would treat the original Stealth Bastard very much as a demo, because that's essentially what it is, even though it's actually a full game. And Stealth Bastard Deluxe just improves on it in pretty much every aspect without actively screwing up the game. I like the fact that the equipment is an optional way of doing the levels, so there's a lot of replayability, rather than just kind of shoving it in there, because I think the classic Stealth Bastard gameplay is probably stronger than having all of these different gadgets, you know? That's actually... it's cool, but it's not as challenging and enjoyable, and it also means that there are various ways of completely circumventing the way that the game was actually designed. So it's smart that they made that an optional extra for different levels. That's a cool thing. That is something that other companies should really consider doing when developing their game and when adding stuff like that into the fray. I think I've balked this one up again, haven't I? One way or the other, Stealth Bastard Deluxe Tactical Espionage Arsehole is currently available on Steam. You can pick it up right now, and the link to the free version of the game is in the description below this video. And of course, if you want to see my playthrough, which was rather disastrous, of the original, the WT free that I did, then also click the link in the description below this video. My name is TotalBiscuit, and this was a look at Stealth Bastard Deluxe. I'll see you next time.